Welcome. I am Crimey Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. Oh, my light. Let's just have some more light. Of course. Yes. I think that's much better. Okay. So, we've started doing a few mini bite-sized videos because those are so important, I think, especially when I've had a major breakthrough. So it gives us time to digest the content of what we have discovered. Of course, we are talking about not just the 14 gods we've discovered in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, meaning 9 gods in chapter 1 and 5 in chapter 2. We also discovered that the God who created man in his own image and likeness created 4 species or entities. But in actual fact, I must say that I believe from what the information that I have spiritually collated is that it's twins, the he, him are twins, and the male and female and the he, them. So they would seem to have the he, them must have been like Siamese twins, and then there was the male and the female, and the he, him is twins. So basically that in itself would be really like saying there were perhaps 6 in one, but it's really 4. But we see in the presentations I have just done, we see how 4 is also 6. All right. There is another thing, just to keep things lighter. We have found out, yes, on these entities that that we have discovered in Genesis of chapter 2, where God created man in his own image and likeness, and I believe it's chapter 2 or the end of chapter 1. As I say, we have seen how that God, he's the creator, the God who created, but the God who created is different to the said God. So the said God is Mother Eve, which is the serpent, which is Eve in the garden, which is Saturn and Satan. So we see Mother Eve has collected quite a few names for herself because of her ability to transform into different dimensions and different environments, we could say as well, because she's a reptile, and so she has the ability to withstand different temperatures as well, and of course to be on different contours of surfaces. So Mother Eve has those different abilities, and this is why perhaps we have not been acquainted with her in the way that we ought to, but now she's making her presence felt, and she wants to be recognized, not just for her heated attributes where she threatens or she's like this, but she's like this to really get our attention, to really come, and she's saying, come home, I want you to understand the truth about me. It's like, I can be gentle, I can be whatever you want me to be, but I want you to come to get to know me. And this is what Mother Eve is about right now. So as I say, we want to keep this light, and so with that lightness, I just saw something that the word that, in fact, is one of the things that came to mind. And it coincides with that which Mother Eve wants us to know, that it is her who was on, or say she, because that S, this is why you hear shh, because people don't really want you to know enough about Mother Eve. So you hear shh. Now this is Mother Eve. This is Mother Eve. Of course, there is the he aspect to her makeup, because Mother Eve is 5 with the she consists of both male and female attributes. So there we have 1. Of course, when we add this together, this is 8 and 4 and 5. So adding this together would be 13 plus 1 is 14, which is in direct correlation with the word Eve. Let's use another pen. Okay, so there is Eve. So we have 5, 4, 5. And so we have added this together. When we do this, is 14. So we see she is really Eve. She is Eve. Okay. And of course, she also has he. He is also part of she, which is 13. Now this 13, this part of 13 here is what I really want to explore. So in the I am that I am, which I have just done, I am that I am. I have done this several times, so it equals 5. But that equals 13. 13 is that which is the presentation of or representation of Christ at the table with the 12 disciples. Of course, with Christ, that would be 13. We see 13 is a magic number in itself that has different attributes to it. We have seen it as the bee when Christ and his disciples formed that bond in the communion or the breaking of bread and the drinking of wine. They came, they formed a bond. They were equal in that agreement. And there's where the bee was formed. So we have seen the bee here is like a beehive. It's like the Bible. So the word Bible, B-I-B-L-E, I like to just throw this in, is like the bee. It is the bee. It is the I. It is the other B of the Bible, and it is the L. It is also the E. So we see this is the power of the bee. The bee has the power to form all these religions and structures that we see that we have today. So that when it is said, I am that, we can see the word that has a great magnitude of, it is very strong. It is very tight in itself. It can contain so much with the 2 T's at the end. But another thing that I have just noticed as well in the word that, T-H-A-T, the words are constructed in a way that when we get to learn their makeup, they teach us so much. So in the middle of that is ha. This is 9. It means 9. Of course, when we do the numerical value for 9, it equals 6. And of course, 6, whether we did 6 as in the word form, which would be 7, this is telling us that there is a sense of wholeness right here. So Mother Eve is saying, I am completion, as is on the template. I am, this is the S, which is the serpent. Mother Eve is saying, I am the all of that. I am all the way 1 to 9. And of course, we see her signature as in E at the end of the sacrifice template, which shows the magnitude of, or gives an indication of the magnitude, because the E at the end is really 3. So we have the E, and the E is also an M. We're going to use a different format here, is also M. it's also free, and it's also W. So we are using this just to make a difference to the 8-petal flowers we have been doing. Of course, it can be the 8-petal flowers, which is the W. This is the M. This is the free. This is the E. And this is the W. So we have in here an 8-petal flower. Of course, let's just give it the whole bees. Okay, that's the 8-petal flower. And that's the power of the E at the end of the word sacrifice. This is what Mother Eve wants us to know. So the I am that I am is in that, the word that, of course, when we do the numerical value is 13. The 2 T's at the end is 4. If we add this together, 4 plus 9 is 13. 13, of course, is that magic number we are talking about. We have just broken down. And there is so much more we can do with 13. Okay, so the I am that I am, I'm trying to keep these very simple so we can see here. I have just had few things because when I'm in my state of words just come to mind. So I'm just going to do this one where I have seen that CNN, which is the news, where because we are 4, we are NEWS, and of course we have seen the power of N, it's W, it's all the same with the 8-petal flowers. So CNN is CNN actually equals 553. Of course this is 13. So we can see the magnitude of 13 like I have just showed you. And that means that we are connecting with all different news from all the north, south, east, and west. With the depth of the news is really like I have shown you with the Bible. So isn't this something you would really want to know when you are watching the news? Because the I am is, we are saying when we are watching news, we are doing CNN. When we are doing CNN, we are tapping the news into every aspect of our being. In our north, our south, our east, our west, we are taking in all the news. I'm not saying don't watch CNN. It's just an example I am giving here, and you're free to make your choices. But the word that, whenever we are doing something that consists or that summarize 13, we are actually in agreement. We are actually signing like a contract with that which we are doing. Likewise, that's why it is said we are dots. This is what the message I had here. So we are dots, and those dots are being activated, or we are being in a marriage or agreement with the dots that we are dots. So when this 13 and this 13 gets together, that is 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. We are doing God. We are doing a God there. Something good to know, I think. Okay, I'll leave you with this to join me again, because I have more of these juicy bits and to explore. Thank you. Okay, do remember to give us a thumbs up if you like this presentation, and do join us again. But may I thank you, really thank you for joining us, and the subscribers, please, just really wanting to thank you.